free in doing something that you appreciate, that you have a passion for, that makes you feel good, and in the end maybe makes someone else feel good too. That is like awesome. But basically it's about how you want to express whatever you want to express. Either it's the actual the content of the painting, or it's the materials, the colors, working with it. To me, this is already it, and then you love it or you don't love it. And for me personally, I know that there's a lot of people talking a lot of things about art and they know so much more and stuff, but for me, it doesn't really matter. I think the process of making something with your hands and your heart, that's what it's for me. It wasn't really that moment. It was sort of all the time there. And in my life, I started painting a lot when I was like 2 years old. And my mom is a painter, my grandma is a painter. They didn't do it professionally, but they had it as a hobby. So I sort of grew up in the studio with the colors all around me. So there was not that moment deciding, so now I'm going to become an artist. It's a small town. It's called Neu-Isenburg. It's 5 minutes away from Frankfurt, Germany. Frankfurt am Main, Germany. And it's very central, in the central Germany.
Awesome. So how long have you been painting or creating professionally?
Making a living out of it since about plus or minus like full time, maybe like 13 years, 12, 13 years. I couldn't tell. I love all of it. I'm working a lot with different materials. So it's difficult to answer, because it's like I start up with the actual painting, like the face or first of all, I have the underground. I don't like making the undergrounds. This I don't like. Then once the underground is finished, I make the painting. I love the painting as such. Of course, I love, the faces and stuff. And then in the end, I think maybe that's my favorite part, because it doesn't take a lot of time and it makes such a difference to the outcome, is like putting all these materials on, different colors, splashing the colors on top. I think that's probably the favorite part, but I couldn't really tell.
To understand that the process is such an amazing thing for your soul, for your well-being, and it's a way to express. So the process is the most important part, and the one that you should enjoy the most. The results vary, correct? Sometimes we're happy with the results, sometimes we're not.
Yeah, there is no right or wrong. I mean, there's absolutely nothing you can do wrong when making art, which is beautiful, because you can't make mistakes. Even if you make mistakes, you can turn the mistake into something special. So this is like probably one of the only things in life you can do without ever being able to make a mistake. And that's probably why it makes you feel so good, because it's just enjoy it.
Absolutely, I agree.
First of all, I don't paint every day, because I make a living out of it. This means I am a full-time artist. I don't have other incomes other than my art, which means that it's not even 50% of the time actually painting and creating. 50% of the time is everything that goes along with it, like keeping your website up to date, doing your social media, doing your sales, doing exhibitions, logistics, and so on. So, but getting back to the actual painting job, I paint in series. So I like a series. I have a subject I like, or I think of, or a type of color, something I have like this subject. I'm building a whole series of paintings around it. So whenever I have the subject, like my last series was simply called street art, because I was using materials I found on the streets. But I had other series like called facade, like this facade of people, how they think and how they show themselves. I had a series called Rebel, it's like all loud and rebellious, and so on. So I have these subjects, and around these subjects, I'm starting to collect input. like not input, which I put on the canvas, but input is in terms of ideas on what I want to express concerning that special subject. Like what I use a lot is Pinterest. I like make all these boards and I put everything in there, just like a brainstorming thing. You know, it's like, for instance, having the subject rebel, I would put quotes, I would put photographies, everything that I think is within this creative subject. And then when starting the paintings, I already sort of like know which direction I want to go. Like, do I want to go bright colors? Do I want to use dark colors, light colors? Do I want it to be more elegant or more, you know, rough? Or so, and then I just start and it just happens.
Awesome. So are you a sketchbook type of artist, or you just develop your ideas through Pinterest and then directly to the canvas?
Yeah, I hardly ever sketchbook. It's just not. When I was little, I used to only be able to draw with a pencil, like a sketchbook. And it took me quite some effort to start learning the colors, because when I started painting with colors for the first time, when I was like for the first time big canvases, I was like, I don't know, teenager. They all turned out just brown because I was so like not patient enough to wait for the colors to dry. So I painted on top and on top and top. I was like, oh no, all the colors just turned brown, because it's like, you know. And then it took me really like some years to actually get a feeling for how long colors have to dry, how like painting in layers, what do I prefer, oil, acrylic, and so on. So now these days I'm not into sketching anymore at all.
Wow, it is amazing with the type of work that you do, that you go directly into your canvas. That is absolutely amazing.
I do have a photo. I use a photo as like how do you say it, Vorlage? I don't know the English word.
As a model?
Yeah, as a model.
Mm-hmm.
I use a photo. A photography.
So you do photography of a model, and then from there you go to your you just take the pictures that you enjoy.
I just take pictures of whatever, like something I like, someone I like, prominent people, myself sometimes if there's no one around in the pose I want, and then I modify them on the computer. I change them completely around, so there's nothing left of the original photo. So I change the eye colors, the face expressions and everything, and then I use this photo. So it's made up people. Well, sometimes I have an idea when I start. Most of the times actually it just happens. And because it's really frustrating if I have an idea, like for instance, I love light colors, like white and all, you know, like calm and stuff. I can never do it. When I get to the painting, and then I get frustrated about it because I want it all soft and clean. And then it's so full of colors in the end because I couldn't resist. So I don't really bother. I don't even start to try to make up an idea before I start. It just happens. Whatever happens, happens. I mean, so except if I have like commissioned works, you know, it's like I have to do what I said I will do. Yeah, partially. It's like I do now, after like having worked as an artist full time for 13 years, I do know where I want to go, sort of. I love the mix between photorealism and abstract. I'm still working on it, but I've been getting better. And if I see paintings of myself like a few years ago, and then I think, I've really improved. I've been practicing a lot. I paint a lot. And so I'm practicing, and I like the paintings back then. I was really convinced that they're quite good. And now looking at them, I'm like, maybe the proportions were not that good yet, or the light and shadow, but you know, I liked it, so I did it, and people liked it. They got sold, so I kept on doing it. And I think I'm on my way to find more and more, get there where I actually want to be.